From an out-of-control cruise ship ramming into a smaller boat and a firefighting plane dropping water and nearly hitting the cameraman, to the unbelievable moment a house collapses into the Ganges River after days of erosions and much more. Here are 5 moments you wouldn't believe if not filmed. On July 7th of 2017, trouble began for those in British Columbia when a major wildfire broke out. 2 hectares were burned down within seconds, and by evening, the affected landmass was 8 times larger, triggering an evacuation order. With limited time to act, the government sent in tankers to battle the blaze. Footage captured by a local gives a first-hand account what that experience was like. It almost seems like the planes never stop. One after another, they fly towards the blaze, dropping fire retardant. Using aircraft to control wildfires can be an effective tactic because it helps protect the ground crew from the extreme heat, and it allows pilots to target a huge area of the fire. Thanks to their aggressive action, the fire was soon under control. Did you know that about 11% of Iceland is covered by glaciers? The largest is Vatnajökull, 3 times the size of Rhode Island. Back on June 18th of 2017, some tourists witnessed a mind-blowing event as they sailed around Jökulsárlón Glacier Lagoon. Footage taken from a slow-moving boat shows the incredibly rare sight of an iceberg slowly capsizing, revealing a rarely seen underside. Dramatic moments like these are a hot topic issue among environmentalists today. Nevertheless, it's still an awe-inspiring sight to see. The Ganges is one of the longest rivers in India, and it brings life-giving water to millions of people along its banks. Of course, it also brings floods and erosion, which can pose problems in the areas closest to the river. One such place that experiences both the gifts and curses of the river is Malda, West Bengal. Researchers say at least 8 square kilometers of land are engulfed annually by the river. 2021 was one of the worst years on record for residents of Malda as the waters of the Ganges flooded their villages. This video gives us an idea of what happened on August 6th of that year. It shows a village taken by surprise as the floodwaters swept through. It took buildings and valuables with it while helpless locals watched.
নারকেল গাছ ঘুরে বড় বাড়ি ঘুরে গেল।
Over 1,000 families were displaced and large parcels of land were wiped away. Some victims took shelter in school buildings and others under plastic tarps. Experts called for the immediate implementation of riverbank protection measures with appropriate rehabilitation plans for displaced people. Unfortunately, the state doesn't yet have any resettlement plan for people who lost their homes to the flooding. Historically, cowboys would often chase wild horses for a while to tire them and make them easier to catch. This method of acquiring horses was time-consuming and dangerous. Nowadays, people will use helicopters, ATVs, or bait, but we still often imagine a lone cowboy galloping after a horse, lasso in hand. In this clip, a modern cowboy reveals his expertise in the historic style of capture while riding in the mountains of Malarauco in Melipilla, Chile on September 5, 2022. With a single toss of the lasso, he ropes a wild horse just like a classic cowboy film, except he was able to video the moment. Clearly, he's quite excited by his catch. All it took was one try. A cowboy's choice of technique depends on the terrain, personal preference, and weather. You might think that cities have taken over the lands where wild horses used to roam, but there are still places in Australia, Europe, North America, and South America where wild horses run free. Would you like to go on a luxurious cruise? You're not alone. Cruising is growing more popular by the day. The Cruise Lines International Association said its North American cruise line members carried 17 million passengers in 2012, up from 7 million in 2000. One way that cruise lines accommodate the growing number of passengers is with bigger and bigger ships. Some worry that cruise ships are actually getting too big and won't be able to evacuate efficiently. There are other downsides too, as we see in this video. The footage shows the harrowing moment a cruise ship crashed into a tourist boat and a dock in Venice on June 2, 2019. The small boat was moored at the wharf in San Basilio, Zadar, when the cruise ship slowly plowed into it and just kept going. It seems like the people piloting the larger vessel were completely unaware of the smaller boat, but it seems engine failure is a more likely cause. Thankfully, there were no casualties, but 5 people were injured, including a New Zealander, 2 Australians, and an American. Residents have since called on the authorities to ban cruise ships from operating near the harbors. Well, that's all we have for today. If you have a clip you want to see featured on the channel, you can send in your submissions to the link down below, or go to submit.monthlyfails.tv. Otherwise, click the link on screen now to see more videos just like this. And with that, we will catch you in the next one.